Today, I'm going to demystify NFTs. I'm going to address the misconceptions and reframe them as digital collectibles. By the end of this video, you'll grasp why it is crucial to act now and not be left behind in the upcoming revolution. So what is an NFT? The term non-fungible essentially implies uniqueness and irreplaceability. In the realm of digital assets, a non-fungible token stands out as distinct and cannot be seamlessly swapped for something else. Unlike fungible assets such as Bitcoin, where one unit is interchangeable with another, NFTs represent one-of-a-kind items, making each token unique and incomparable to the others in its individuality. There's actually more to NFTs. It can get truly boring for the average person. We have the blockchain, which is the ledger, which keeps other information about your collectible. Doesn't matter, because when we're talking about the masses and what's going to happen, nobody cares. Moving forward, we're going to call them digital collectibles instead of NFTs, because in the end, it's a four-letter word now. Let's move on and let's see why there's going to be a revolution with digital collectibles. Before we go any further, I want to make it very clear this is not professional advice. I don't think you should go out and spend all your money on digital collectibles, but I think you need to understand why these are not going away. They absolutely are not, and we already have a generation that is primed for these. And this is what I'm going to be going over today. Here's the scoop. Everyday folks are already diving into the digital collectible scene, and guess what? They may not even realize it. Real quick, there are two different types of markets right now. There's decentralized and centralized. Decentralized is where you can take your collectibles and you can move them between your wallets and stuff. We're getting really into this crypto stuff that a lot of you don't even want to know about. And then there's centralized, and this is what I like. This is where you have to buy within the company. They will sometimes have a marketplace. You deal all within one sandbox, and this to me is safe. On the other way, decentralized, people have got stuff stolen. It's scary for a lot of people. So let's focus on the centralized, because this is what the masses are going to want. Let's first dive into the project that got me involved into digital collectibles, and this is the Veve Marketplace. So why do I like the Veve Marketplace? It's very easy. It's their IPs, their intellectual properties. They've gotten some of the biggest names in the world getting involved with them. Veve has collectibles from Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. Now, of course, those are all under the Disney brand, 20th Century Fox, Coca-Cola, the U.S. Postal Service, all these big IPs, even more DC. It goes on and on. In my mind, I always said, if these big companies can get behind them, that's a good sign. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed it's going to be successful, but it's a very good sign, and that is why I like the Veve market and the collectibles they provide. Most of the collectibles are 3D rendering of famous characters that we know. Partner Stash is one of the biggest, which is Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. And as you can see here, they're very cool. Some are interactive, some have animation, some have sound. Because we are very new, we don't know quite what the utility is going to be for these. People have speculated what's going to happen. There is what they call the Veveverse they're working on. This is going to be an interactive place for all the collectors, and it's a small community, but we all like each other and we like hanging out, and you're supposedly going to be able to hang out in the Veveverse, and we're going to have our collectibles, all this stuff. It might be stuff you don't even care about. This is still not what I'm talking about when I talk about the revolution. The next digital collectible project that I want to go over is Cryptoys. Now, let me let you know that I'm actually an ambassador for them, so I do represent them. I do videos for them. I go on streams with them, but I still have embraced it, and I love this project. They have their own digital collectibles with UFO Escape. They've got Motu, which is Master of the Universe. They also just got Star Wars, and they have Disney collectibles, and there's much more coming out. Right now, they have what is called the Cryptoyverse. This is an area where you can take your characters and run around. It's a precursor to a video game, but it's to show proof of concept that we're going to be able to do more with these collectibles. In fact, they already had a beta test for a video game, and eventually you are going to be able to incorporate your collectibles into those. What I think is the most important factor you got to consider with Cryptoys is that they are getting into gaming, and this is where I believe the revolution is going to go. One last thing on Cryptoys, they are also very focused on this platform being kid-friendly, and they're working on a bunch of things that are going to make that happen. Keep that in mind. They're not just looking at the 18-plus crowd. They are looking for this to be a way to play with toys, with your parents, with other kids in a safe environment. Like I said at the beginning, there are a bunch of different projects that are out there, even in the centralized system. There's HRO, which is Batman related, DC related. There's DC Palm, which is actually DC Comics. There's Gamesodes, but there's one other one that I want to discuss that I really like. This project is called Photo Finish Live, and this is horse racing, which you think, well, why would horse racing have digital collectibles? This makes no sense to me. First, let me tell you that they have partnered with NBC, Churchill Downs for the Kentucky Derby. So this is a big deal. This is not just a little company. They've been out for a little bit over a year, and they are becoming more successful. Right now, there are so many ways to interact in Photo Finish Live, from getting a horse. You can get a female horse or a filly. You can get a colt. You can race them. You can breed them. You can even wager. There's all sorts of things that you can do. Now, Photo Finish Live may not be kid-friendly, but it proves a point of why digital collectibles are going to be important moving forward. Now you can actually own a digital collectible and you can do something with it. There's actual utility. The fact that you can breed these, you can breed them with horses from different bloodlines and all sorts of things to make you have the best horse to race. You may not even want to race. You may just want to breed. You may not want to do any of that. You may just want a wager on races or just watch races. Photo Finish Live is a true example of digital collectibles, not just being a 2D photo, a 3D sculpture. This is actually something that you can use in a game. And this to me is super exciting. Now let's talk about why I think there's going to be a revolution when it comes to digital collectibles. If you remember at the beginning, I said that everyday folks are already buying digital collectibles and they don't even know that they're doing it. How many of you buy skins for the video games that you play? Or how many of you have children that go play Fortnite and spend hundreds of dollars a month? Or how many on Minecraft spending hundreds of dollars a month on 8-bit characters? The number is huge. And guess what? Those are almost digital collectibles. Right now, your kid is probably buying a ton of skins on Fortnite. Now imagine this scenario. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars a month, imagine if they could actually trade their digital collectible with other people. They could trade their skins. My son begs me all the time, oh, I got to have this one. And then the next week, I got to have this one. Well, guess what? Once he's done using it, it just sits there. But there are other people out there that may want it. Maybe they can trade it. Now, I know we're dealing with some situations where we're dealing with kids, so they're not going to be able to sell it on the market. But when you get to people who are over 18 and in other games, or even like Fortnite, now imagine being able to sell your collectible. Maybe you got one of the most rare weapons or skins or something like that in the game that you play. And now you can actually put it out there and sell it. You actually have ownership of this. Now you have no ownership of these skins, but you have no problem spending hundreds of dollars a month on this stuff. Now also imagine being able to move that skin within the company. So whether it's Epic Games or any of these other companies, maybe you buy a skin in one game and you can use it in another. Now there's issues with that, and it's not going to be so easy on everything, and certain IPs, intellectual properties, are not going to allow that to happen, but it is going to happen. The revolution is already here. The only thing is that this stuff isn't recorded on the blockchain and you can't move it around and trade and do all of that. But we're already buying the stuff. We just can't do anything with it. And the change is by making them digital collectibles, we have ownership of them and we can do more. Now, there's a lot of people out there going to say, well, this is just another scam and you're just selling stuff. Again, you don't have to sell this stuff. Maybe you just want to trade it. Maybe you go back to the old days when I had baseball cards and we traded a card for a card. But you can't do that now in games. You literally buy it and there's nothing you can do. This is going to give you a lot more control over your collectibles, the stuff, the skins that you buy in a game. And this is why there's going to be a revolution. Just to give you more proof why digital collectibles are here to stay, Nike, Swoosh.Nike, they just released digital collectibles that you can actually wear in Fortnite. So here's another example of where you can buy something from a company and move it into a game. This ability to move things around and have ownership is what digital collectibles are all about. Of course, you're always going to have people that are going to want to make money off of this stuff. That is not the big thing for the masses. I mean, maybe it will be. Maybe it will be the big thing, the fact that they can sell it. But the big thing in my mind, the revolution, is that we're already buying this stuff in video games, and to be able to move it around and trade and all that, to give us more control over the stuff that we're buying, it's obvious this is where it's going. There's no doubt in my mind this is where it's going to go. How we get there, I don't know if the current companies we have, that's how we get there, but we're going to get there, and it's going to happen sooner than you think. Because kids are already primed, they've been primed since they were 4 with a tablet and playing games, and since they were maybe 6 or 7 buying in-game stuff on Fortnite and Minecraft. My son only buys Robux, whatever, V-Bucks, all this stuff. That's what he buys. He doesn't really want physical items anyways. Once these kids are 21 and 22 and they're in the real world, they're making good money, assuming that they get a good job, they are going to spend money on this stuff. Again, they are primed for this. This is going to be coming here. It might be hard for us boomers or pre-boomers or people in their mid-30s to understand this, but you're not going to get away from it. So embrace it. I guess the big question now is, what do? We know the revolution is coming. This is going to happen. Digital collectibles are going to be the big thing moving forward, and video games is going to be kind of that Trojan horse that's going to bring the two things together. Now, if you're looking to make a lot of money and you're listening to this and, I've heard NFTs and you can make tons of money, it's a bear market. It's really hard to trade and make money. That is probably not the route to go for most people. Now, Mark Cuban just put out a video the other day about digital collectibles. He had the best way to look at it.
Have you ever been in the trading card industry? That Mickey Mantle card, that Steph Curry card, goes up, goes down, go up, go down. The same thing is happening to NFTs. Now, there are some people that would tell you that this is the best time, if you're an NFT collector, to buy an NFT. I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, other than to say, with NFTs, the best time to buy is when you're a collector and you love the NFT. Don't buy to speculate. I'm going to say it to you for the people in the back. Don't speculate.
Buy what you love. Buy what you can afford. Then it doesn't matter. I mean, in the past, growing up, I was always told, when you're buying art, buy what you like. Don't buy it because you think it's going to be valuable. It's what you like, what you want to enjoy. That is how I would go about digital collectibles. If you like it and you can afford it, you can go on Veve and go buy your partner statue for $5,000, go for it. If you can't afford that and you want to buy a Happy Tree Friends Flippy for 9 gems, which is $9, go buy that. If you enjoy it, it's okay to buy it. Start looking at the project, start getting involved. We got Disney Pinnacle coming up, which is going to be their digital pins, all sorts of stuff you can get involved in. Start taking a look at these projects. Doesn't mean they're all going to be successful. Doesn't mean you're going to make $1 million off this. This is not financial advice here, but it is here to stay. So I think it's okay for you to say, you know what, let me dip my toes in and go on Veve or go on Cryptoys and go buy myself a Star Wars toy and just see what this is all about. I think you're going to find that it's a lot of fun. I think you're going to find that you can spend time with your children or your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is. You're going to find that this is going to be a fun activity. Plus, it's digital. You don't have to worry about hoarding. You can actually have it on your phone all the time. And a lot of these have AR and virtual reality and all of this stuff. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen with some of these projects that are out there now. In the end, we already know that people are buying digital collectibles. It's just not, on the blockchain and you can't move them around. And once you can, that is why this is going to be huge, because people are ready for that. They're going to want the ability to have control over their skins in video games. So just be ready, be out there looking. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to put some information in the description, projects that I'm involved with, whether I'm working with them or just enjoying them. I'll put that in there. I'll make it clear of either of those. Good luck on your endeavors. Hit that subscribe button if you liked it. Hit the bell if you want to be notified about my next review. I really appreciate you dropping by, and I'll see you next time.